Hello there. In this video, I'm just going to do a quick run through of the Volkswagen ID software version 5.4. I'm a complete newbie to the Volkswagen ID software. I'm more used to the MMI screen in my Q4 e-tron with its 11.6 inch screen in the center there and the virtual cockpit in front of the driver. But now I've got ID Buzz GtX, which has got the ID software version 5.4 on a 12.9 inch screen. First big difference from the Audi is the sliders for the volume control and the temperatures on either side. These are backlit and I don't see what the big issue is. They work just fine. You can tap, you can slide. If you don't like using the volume control as a driver, you can use the one on the steering wheel. It's not difficult. Wherever you end up, you can always just tap the home screen button a couple of times and that'll take you back to where you started. So starting off with the nav system, I can't see any obvious way to get satellite photos up like in the Audi, but it is fast and responsive. It does do the charge distance thing, so you can see how far you can make it on a charge, and it all seems pretty intuitive. You have shortcuts on your home screen, so I've got nav and audio, CarPlay and parking set up on mine. There is a second screen which you can access by swiping, and when you click on an area it'll open up the full version. So clicking on nav takes you to nav and so on. If you press and hold, you can go in and you can configure each of the tiles that are on there, and you can add additional pages if you want. Down beside the home button there are buttons for the heated seats, and then on the GTX you can click on the one beside that and you can access the massage function for your seats there for passenger and driver. You can also control the passenger seat from the driver seat controls in here if you want to move the passenger seat. If you want to change anything other than the fan speed or the temperature, for the HVAC, you can click on the climate button. You can look in the front and the rear. It's currently on eco because I don't have anyone in the passenger seat or in the rear. There are some smart options on there which you can use voice commands to access. I've tended just to use the normal controls on the screen there. Along the top there's the clock, temperature and any messages that pop up. There are also some shortcuts which again you can configure. So driving modes are up there. All the driver assist settings which you can have in either as a list view or as an image. I find it easier to use the list view than the image one, but each to their own. There's all the options for that. Next option I've got set up on my shortcuts is the parking button for park assist or to get into the cameras. The 360 camera is pretty good. I believe there are other cameras out there with better resolution, but it seems pretty decent to me. And importantly, you can see where all four wheels are, which is handy in tight spaces because it's quite a big car. You can also configure your favourites and have shortcuts in there. The little grid of icons in the top corner gives you access to all the other apps. And the one I've tended to use the most is the charging one. So charging gives you access to look at your current state of charge, your targeting, if you want to preheat for the next charger, set up locations, and then change your options for your charging in here too. Next up, static aircon, which I've not had to do anything with actually, but you can set the temperature in advance and pick whether to clear the windows whether to have the heated seats and steering wheel on, and you can set a timer for that. I'll probably just do that from the app though. Looking on the next screen then, you can change the background colours. There are a number of different moods you can set for your interior lighting. I normally just have it set to the automatic, so it changes with the drive mode. You can also go and pick a colour scheme of your choosing. If you want something horrific like pink and yellow. Yeah, actually, I don't want that. Let me just put that back before I forget. In sound, you can access your sound settings, obviously. This car has the Harman Kardon system, so some presets. You can go and use the equalizer if you want. You can change the focus and the amount of surround sound. I've not really played with this. I just tend to whack it up full on there and leave it. And there are various volume settings, including the one for the goodbye sound. Clicking on ID software just takes you in to confirm which version you're on. So this vehicle is currently on 5.4, and the legal info and stuff are in there too. You can set up IDA to do voice assist stuff, but I've not done that yet. And I have added a couple of options in there, including the air console and games, which I'll do a video about later on. You can add service details in, but I've not done that yet. I will do that eventually. Come back to that. Aircon just takes you back into climate control, which I switched off already. And then WeCharge is the subscription service you can sign up with Volkswagen for preferential charging rates. You can search for chargers, you can start chargers, etc. from in here. That says look through most of the options on here. If we scroll back, we can go and have a look in this settings page. As you would expect, all the main stuff's in here, like the units you're going to be using, the language, time and date, etc. There's also the configuration wizard, which came up when I first got the car. You can choose a quick configuration, or you can go in and do it in detail. The other thing that you can view in settings is the system information. And that gives you all the version numbers, etc. If you click on vehicle, you can look at your stats. So my long-term stats are on there for the first 3,000 miles, 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. Also go and view the service settings, and there's the wiper service position, which moves the wipers up and back there. And this is where you can set your tyre pressures. Basically every other setting in here is under vehicle, so you can choose your comfort light settings, and which particular animation you want for the rear lights. If you want the mirrors to move at the same time as each other, the various headlight settings for the assistance, etc. Tyre settings are in there if you want to have a speed warning for winter tyres. Brake settings. And easy access, which is just on or off. That's the foot swipe one, which can be a pain when you're washing the car and it tries to open the side doors when the water hits the sensor. All the locking settings are in here, and there's also the window settings, so when you press and hold the unlock button you can choose to have all the windows open or just the driver window. You can put the wipers in the service position again, and you can switch them on there again. There's just 3 different places to move the wipers. You can change the HUD settings, including going to snow mode, which makes the text on the heads-up display go blue instead of white. There's the cockpit settings for the dash. The light settings for the interior lighting this time. And the ID light, which is the full width one on the top of the dashboard. You can change the roof from open to closed or opaque to see-through, which you can do with the ceiling light switch anyway. And you can choose the display colour. You can also switch on or off easy entry, where when you get out the car, the seat moves to its furthest back position to give you a bit more room for getting back in. As I said at the start, I'm quite new to this. I've only had the car for 2 months. I'm much more used to the virtual cockpit and MMI system in the Q4 e-tron, which is completely different. I am discovering more and more how to work things a little bit better, and I will do more in-depth videos on some of the main features at a later date. In the meantime, that's all I've got for you in this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.